Yo, KP Platinum Sports Media. I'm just going to do a little week of boxing review, and title of the live stream is Terrible Teo. So we just saw this pay-per-view last weekend. Shakur Stevenson won a very unanimous 12-round decision over Teofimo Lopez for the 140-pound WBO junior welterweight championship and lineal title. And why the reason why I call this show Terrible Teo is because he was terrible. I mean, let's be honest here. I don't know what this strategy was. I mean, he was terrible. His father was terrible. The corner was terrible. He put up a dreadful performance. Part of that you have to attribute to the brilliance of Shakur Stevenson, who kind of stayed within himself. He didn't really take too many chances. He didn't really need to do a whole lot beyond pretty much what his normal style is to take very little chances, to use his jab, stay behind the jab, and throw, left hands when they're available to him. And they definitely were available. And part of the reason why is, what I don't understand with some of these fighters is, I understand, you can fight with your hands down, and that can be effective against certain fighters. But when you're fighting a fighter that's got a better jab than you have, and your strategy is to come forward with your hands at your waist and you're getting hit by those jabs, you got to mix up how you defend against a jab. And I thought that was pretty much the story of the fight, because Teo, when he came in, he was lunging in with his jab. Whether they were jabs to the body, they were jabs upstairs. And whenever he lunged in, what did Shakur do? Shakur took a little bit of a half step back. He'd pop him with the jab. He didn't really need to come forward a lot. He didn't need to really move much side to side, because Teo's attacks were so predictable. After about the second round, you even saw there was no adjustment made in Teo's corner. They kept doing the same thing over and over. His dad has to be, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. This probably has to be one of the worst performances I've seen in years, in a fight that people coming in thought was potentially a 50-50. I picked Teofimo to win the fight, I believe. From a betting standpoint, I picked the draw because I thought that the fight was going to be relatively close. And in my mind, something as simple as Teofimo Lopez putting his left hand up in front of his face and his right hand in front of his face and coming forward and moving his head when Shakur would throw that jab, at least he'd have something to block and catch instead of blocking it with his face. Coming forward with his hands up behind head movement, and when he gets in range, then throw the jab. But what he was doing was he was trying to slip the jabs and then coming in with his own jab. But by the time he would try to come in with his own jab, his hands were not up and he was getting hit with the jab. And then he wasn't able to actually throw anything to any effect. And you would think he would have an experienced corner that would be picking up on that. And he just didn't do it. I mean, it was a dreadful performance from Teo, to say the least. The fighter who really stood out to me on the undercard was Shu Shu Carrington, Bruce Carrington, who won the WBC featherweight championship. That's 126 pounds. He struggled through some adversity in the fight. I believe he got hurt at least maybe once or twice in the fight, but he fought through it. Beautiful knockout in front of his fans in New York City. So hats off to him. He's definitely a fighter to look at. He's got some stuff he needs to improve on, especially defensively. He stands a little bit too straight up to my liking, but I think he just needs to be in there with better opposition. And I think he has a few fights with some better opposition that would prepare him for the elite fighters of the division. I wouldn't throw him into a unification right away, although I believe he could win any of these fights because he is very talented. He doesn't have a lot of fights. So he definitely needs more seasoning. But overall, the story of this weekend, besides the $70 price tag that I paid for the pay-per-view, it was a good card on paper, but main event just underwhelming as far as, action. It wasn't a bad fight, but there wasn't much two-way action. I mean, it was a one-way street for Shakur Stevenson. What's next for Stevenson? Who would you like to see him fight? Not Conor Benn. Definitely not Conor Benn. Devin Haney, possibly. Raymond Murataya, lightweight champion. Is Shakur going to stay at 140 pounds? Yes. He was stripped of his 135-pound championship. So he definitely will be at 140 pounds. There should be some interesting fights for him. Biggest fight for Shakur at this time? Got to be Devin Haney. We will talk about that on another impromptu show. But great victory for Shakur Stevenson. The world is his oyster, I guess, as people say. So good luck to him. Great performance. Teofimo back to the drawing board. Not to kick a man when he's down, but I was a big fan at one time, but you got to get a better team behind you. He's got so much talent. He's got ability. And I think his dad took him as far as he could. And kudos to his dad. His dad, to get a fighter from the amateurs to championship level, I mean, it takes something. I mean, he did something right. But now Teofimo needs, if he wants to stay at the world-class level, he definitely needs a better world-class pro trainer that can teach him more nuances to the game, give him better corner instructions. So that's all I got to say today. Thanks for listening, and be in touch with y'all soon. Like and subscribe. Get my subscriber count up. Trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. I got a long, long way to go. All right. Hopefully we'll talk basketball next few days. Trade deadline just passed. We'll probably go into that on the next show.